Okay, guys. So today we are going to be practicing the listening section. We'll be practicing what we did yesterday, which is conversations part of listening. Let's see. Let's get started. Okay, I don't know what's going on. And okay. Okay. You guys, so please get ready to take notes. I'm gonna play our first conversation of the day. Remember, take notes, organize in an organized way, separating a student versus campus worker, right, or university work. Let's see.
Listen to a conversation between a student and an employee.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Come on in.
Okay.
So, what can I help you with today?
Well, I want to join the bicycle club.
Joining clubs is a great thing to do. Unfortunately, the bicycle club currently has no events because the office is being renovated.
Oh, well, when is it going to be done?
The anticipated date of completion is next semester, though it could take as long as a year.
Wow, that's a long time. That's a bummer.
I do apologize.
It's not your fault, I guess. So are there other clubs I can join instead?
Absolutely. There are a wide variety of clubs throughout campus. Since you are interested in the bicycle club, I would recommend the hiking club or rock climbing club. They are popular options for students who are interested in exercising and meeting friends.
Those could be nice. It's too bad about the bicycle club, though. But yeah, those would work. How about the hiking club? When is it?
The hiking club meets Friday evenings.
That won't work then. I have biology class on Friday night. I didn't think finding a club would be this hard.
Don't get discouraged. It's all about finding the right fit. In the future, the bicycle club's office will be finished and they will start up again. You won't always have biology on Friday nights either. What about the rock climbing club?
I do really like climbing. When is that one?
Let's see. The rock climbing club meets Tuesday afternoons.
Okay, yeah. I don't have any class or anything going on then.
So you'd like to join the rock climbing club?
Yes, please.
All right. So the process isn't too complicated. You just have to pay the dues, which aren't very large, and then fill out your contact information and attend the next meeting.
Is it going to be their first ever meeting? Like, will I be that strange new person that nobody knows?
It is not their first meeting, but you really don't need to worry. The whole point of clubs is that they're social and welcoming to new people. I'm sure you'll fit right in.
That's easy to say, but what if I don't?
Well, thinking negatively like that will only hurt your chances. So first, try to stay positive. They will probably ask you to introduce yourself so they can get to know you a little bit, and you'll be good from there.
Stuff like that makes me nervous.
It's perfectly normal to be nervous. But remember, everybody there was the new person at some point. But if for some reason it doesn't work out for you, you can always come back to me. There are plenty of clubs for all kinds of people. And like I said before, you may be able to join the hiking or bicycle club in the future.
But I should still try this now?
Of course, there are no guarantees, and one of the major aspects of college is going out and trying new things.
Okay, guys, so that was the conversation. Let's take a look at the questions then. Our first question, Christian, please, could you read the question?
Yes, it says, why does the student go to speak to the consultant?
Okay, thanks. So this is the main idea question, right? Remember we said there are two types of main idea. The one that asks you about the entire conversation and the one that asks you for the intent, for the original purpose of the conversation. In this case, it's the second case, right? So what do you guys think? Why did she go to see the consultant?
To join the bicycle club?
Yes, do you guys agree?
Yes.
Exactly. That was her intention, right? She wanted to join the bicycle club initially. And then she did get information about recreational activities, for example, right? But that wasn't the reason why she went to see the consultant. Perfect. Let's see the next one. So, Elizabeth, please, can you read the second question?
Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the following question. What is the student attempting to express?
Okay. Let's listen to this part of the conversation.
All right, so the process isn't too complicated. You just have to pay the dues, which aren't very large, and then fill out your contact information and attend the next meeting.
Is it going to be their first ever meeting? Like, will I be that strange new person that nobody knows?
So what is the student attempting to express when she says that? Is it going to be their first meeting? Am I going to be the strange person nobody knows? What does she want to express?
He's nervous.
Yes, do you guys agree?
Yes.
Right? He's nervous. She even says it, right? She says in some part, well, this kind of things makes me nervous, right? I don't want to be the new odd person in the place. Nervous about meeting other people. Next question. So, Michaela, please, can you read the third question?
Yes. Why can't the student join to the bicycle club?
Okay, so why can't she?
The bicycle club's office is being renovated.
You guys agree? Yes, exactly. Because the office is being renovated, right? Okay, this is a detailed question. It's just understanding the details. Now, the fourth question. Jorge, can you please read the fourth question?
What kinds of clubs are similar to the bicycle club?
What do you guys think?
Outdoor activities clubs like hiking or rock climbing.
Okay, yes, do you guys agree? Okay, perfect. Now, Alejandra, please, can you read the fifth question?
Which of the following is not a benefit of joining the rock climbing club?
So, what do you guys think? What's not a benefit? This is an except question.
Get better grades?
Yes, do you all agree? Is it? Getting better grades not a benefit? Okay, let's choose that one and we will see. And now let's see if we have answered correct. Oh, I wasn't there. Okay, guys. So yes, let's go to that question. Where was it? So in terms of the benefits, they talked about all of the other ones, right? They talked about hang on, I'm gonna okay. So they said, right, that, well, the college experience is about meeting people, it's about making friends. So that's why the consultant was suggesting that she joins one club, right? Trying things in the future, that was another benefit they talked about. Be healthier is not something they mentioned, but it's something that we can deduce, right? Because it is a benefit of this type of clubs. I do agree that it wasn't mentioned, but it's something that we can infer. The only thing that wasn't mentioned and that does not make sense and does not fit is getting better grades. That's something unrelated, right? So yes, well done. That was the first practice set we did. Do you guys have any questions so far? Okay, guys. Now, as I was telling you before, I'm gonna give you guys access to the platform that we use. It's called Magoosh. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. First of all, this is the link that you guys have to enter. So when you want to practice for the TOEFL test, you can go to that link. I'm gonna be sending the details to our WhatsApp chat as well so that you don't lose it. So if you enter that link, what you guys have to do is use this username or email. It's equipo at eecomee.com. And you guys have to write down the password, type the password, which is basically what I'm gonna share with you guys right now. Hang on, let me see if I'm correct before I share with you some password that's not. Okay, yes, this is the password. Okay. And basically, once you log in, you're gonna have these different options on the bar on the top of the screen. You have dashboard, lessons, practice, review, and resources. So if we go to dashboard, for example, basically what they do here is they allow you to practice the different sections. You can practice the reading section, the listening, speaking, and the writing sections. Now, technically here, you will be seeing your statistics, but given that this is the same login and the same password that we use, the same account that we use for everyone, so these statistics are not going to be reflecting really your notes and what you are doing, right? But it's like in general for everybody that's practicing. So don't pay attention to the summary, but you just have the practice options here. Now, if you guys go to lessons, this is something really interesting because you have a lot of lessons for the TOEFL test, including grammar lessons. So these are grammar lessons that are related and useful for the TOEFL exam. So things like understanding the parts of speech, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, sentence structure, punctuation. This is really useful, especially for the writing section. Conjunctions. This is, again, very useful for the speaking and writing sections. The punctuation related to conjunctions. Compound and complex sentences, very useful as well, especially for the writing. Verb tenses, if you guys want to review the verb tenses. Then you have passive and active voice. Again, very useful, especially for the writing section, I would say. Then you have prepositional phrases. That's another thing that's very useful for writing and speaking mainly. Gerund phrases, infinitive phrases, that's something very useful for the writing and speaking sections, okay? Most students make mistakes with these grammar lessons. So if you guys are having problems with any of these, then you can check them out. And you have on the left side, lessons that are specifically for the TOEFL test. So you have an overview of the entire TOEFL test, you have the format, the scoring, section by section, an overview of each section, skills that you guys need for the TOEFL, skills for the reading section, for the listening section, and speaking and writing sections. Okay, so you have a lot of material here if you guys want to review, if you want to check the lessons. Depending on what you need, you can maybe check a few lessons, right? If you're struggling with like this type of question in the reading, then you can go there, okay? And probably the most useful thing that you can find here, the most useful tool, and what you will be using the most is the practice section. So if you guys go to practice, you have two options. You can either custom practice or practice test. If you guys want to practice one section specifically, one question specifically, then go to custom practice. And if you guys want to complete a simulation test, you have to go to practice test. So in this case, let's say that we want to practice the listening section. We go to custom practice. And you have the options of starting a practice session of whatever section you want to practice. Let's say we want to practice the listening section. We go to listening. Let's say we just want to practice conversation, so we go to conversations. This question pool should always be answered and unanswered, okay? Always. Because remember that you're not going to be the only ones using the platform, so maybe you haven't answered a question that somebody else has already answered, so it's better to always have it answered and unanswered. And you can click on the number of tasks that you want to get, maybe 5, 3, 4, 1, I don't know. You can give yourself the time that you want to have. I suggest that you always like select on the time that you would actually have on the real test. Let's say, I don't know, for one conversation, 5 minutes, let's say, right? And you can select if you want to practice with practice mode. So after you answer each question, you will see the explanations. Obviously, they will tell you if you got it right or if you got it wrong, and they will explain why. Or if you want, you can go to quiz mode and the explanations are going to go at the end. Okay, guys, so let's say we go for practice mode. We start the session. And basically, you will have the practice tasks, right? This is the listening part. You can listen to the conversation.
Listen to a conversation between a student and her professor.
Listen to it and you can click on next and it'll go to the questions, right? Question by question. If you have selected practice mode, after you submit each answer, then they will tell you if you got it right or wrong, and you have a video explanation, basically that explains why you answered correctly or incorrect. You guys? So that's probably the most useful thing that you'll find here. When you go to resources, there's not much that you can do there. Most of them are paid, so better not to go there. But you have those options. Okay, guys? So if you guys want to practice, you have that platform. I'm going to send you guys right now before I forget through our WhatsApp as well. Hang on. Okay, guys, so it's in your WhatsApp chat as well. So is that okay? Do you guys have any questions about this?
I have a question, Andrea.
question, Jorge?
For example, there are subjects, for example, the biography, social sciences, and health sciences. There is only one, listen, planning discussion, lecture, or conversations. There is only one audio example for each subject. There are many examples in the listening.
Okay. So what happens is, I think that they are still using the previous format of the test. So when you guys want to practice the listening specifically, then try to only use conversations and lectures. That's all you're going to need, conversations and lectures. So right now, for example, we're working on conversations. So technically, you would have to just choose conversations. When we see lectures, you can start practicing lectures too, and you can click on lectures as well. Classroom discussions is not something that we have right now in the TOEFL, so you don't have to practice that. Depending on what we see, right? We're gonna see each section, section by section, and you will see what types of questions we have. In the listening, we just have conversations and lectures. So you just have to practice in both of them.
Okay. By selecting one subject and start the session, we're gonna get some audio, I think. And this here will be always the same, or it will change when I start again.
I don't get your question. Like, are you asking me if you will have more than one audio file, or if it's always going to be the same?
Yes.
You have a couple of audio files, so you have different questions. They're not the same.
Okay, thank you.
Question? No questions? Okay, guys, so let's continue practicing the listening section as well. Let's see. Okay, get ready to take notes. I'm going to play our second conversation. Okay, guys. So the instructions are the same as usual. Listen to a conversation and answer the questions. Let's see.
Everything all right, Carla?
Yes, I just wanted to talk to you about the assignment that's due on Monday.
I can't give you an extension if that's what you want.
No, it's not that. I wanted to ask you about the word limit. At the moment, I'm way over it, but I found so many useful sources that I don't really want to cut anything out.
Well, it's meant as a guide rather than a hard and fast rule. It's not as if I'll stop marking as soon as I reach the word limit, but I don't really want you to go way over it either. 2,800 is the absolute maximum, I'd say.
Wow, that's still going to be hard.
Well, you can use this opportunity to try to make your writing more succinct. It's good exercise in writing technique. Think about which of the writer's points you really want to draw attention to and discard any information that isn't really relevant to your premise.
Okay, I'll try that.
Remember, you can always refer to two or more sources in the same paragraph, in the same sentence even.
What do you mean?
If one of your citations seems to complement what the other says, you can refer to them at the same time. You can do that when they contradict each other, too. It's a perfectly acceptable way of constructing a paragraph.
I get you. Well, I'd better go. I've got a lot to do before Monday.
Hang on, Carla. While you're here, I wanted to mention something to you.
What's that?
Have you heard about the Harvey Graduate Business Program?
No?
It's a special scheme funded by the Harvey Group, the financial place in town.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, they have a special program that they run especially for graduates. It's very exclusive. They only take on 3 people a year. Each of the major colleges in the state is invited to put forward a maximum of 5 students a year for consideration. And we only pick out the very best students, the ones with really high grades. I wondered if you'd be interested in trying out for it. After all, you've been doing well in all your modules.
Wow, it sounds like an honor to be considered. I guess all those late nights working on assignments were worth it. What does the program give you?
Well, you get work and training at the Harvard Group for a year, and then they will fund your master's course a year down the line. I'm right that you're interested in doing a master's course, aren't I?
Yes, I was considering doing something management-based.
Well, I think they discuss with you what master's course would be best for you and them, depending on the department you're working on. So you may be obliged to do the course they want you to do, but it's bound to be useful. Then they employ you for another year. And after that, you can choose to stay with the company or move on somewhere else.
Harvey's a prestigious company. I couldn't see myself moving on fast if I managed to get my foot in the door.
Indeed. Well, is it something that might appeal to you?
Maybe. I was hoping to go abroad for a while, though. What do I have to do to apply? Do I need a resume? I was working on mine just the other night.
Well, there's a rather lengthy application form to fill out, so I don't think a resume is needed. Then, if you get through the first stage, you'll have to do a presentation. If they like you, they'll invite you back for an interview. It's pretty tough, as you can imagine, but I wouldn't suggest it to you if I didn't think you could do it. I mean, you've done some great presentations in class, and you've had the experience of setting up your own business, too.
No. I haven't done that.
Haven't you? I thought you did something selling perfumes.
That's Miranda.
Oh, is it? Well, sorry about that. My mistake. But you've still had experience working in a business, haven't you?
Yeah, I've worked in my dad's office in the vacations.
Well, that's very valuable, and I'm sure you learned a lot from that. Well, if you're interested in the program, come to my office later on, and I'll give you the details. After 4 is best for me.
Thanks.
Everything all right, Carla?
Yes, I just wanted to talk.
Okay, guys, so that was our second conversation. It was a little bit longer, I think, than the ones we've been doing. This one was 4 minutes long. But let's take a look at the questions. So, Rebecca, please, could you read our first question? Are you there, Rebecca? All right. Carolina, please, can you read it?
Of course. Carla wants to talk to the professor because I consider it's letter C, well, the third option.
Okay, she's worried that her assignment is too long. Do you guys agree? Is it? Yes, I see you guys are nodding. So, okay, good. Let's see if that's the correct one. Yes, it is, right? So she explicitly said, and she said that in the beginning, right? She was having problems with the word count, with the word limit. So she's worried that it's too long. Okay. Now, the second question, this is a detailed question. It says, read the 6 sentences below. Which 2 does the professor advise Carla to do? This is information that you always want to have in your notes. The suggestions, the advice that the university worker gives the student, right? The student has a problem, the student wants something, needs something. So how does the professor, how does the campus worker help the student? You want to have that in your notes. Check out your notes, try to remember what 2 options, what 2 does the professor advise Carla to do? Is it 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 5 and 6, 3 and 4, or 1 and 6? What do you guys think?
I think it's 5 and 6.
Yes, is it? Do you guys agree? Is it 5 and 6, or do you guys have something else in mind?
I think that it's 3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay. We have differing opinions. Anybody else?
One and three.
1 and 3, okay. You guys, so two people already agree that 3 is an option, right? Focus on comparing and contrasting information. I do agree that 3 is correct because they talked about this a lot, right? The professor was like, one thing that you can do to like make your writing shorter is to if you have citations that contradict or complement each other, so that is comparing and contrast, you can cite them in the same paragraph, right? Something like that. So they do talk about this a lot. Now, as for option 6, ensure that there is a reference plus source in every sentence. If you guys think about it, I think that option C is actually gonna make her writing even longer than it already is, right? So careful there. Now, so is it 1 and 3 or is it 3 and 4?
Mm, 3 and 4.
Discard information.
3.
I don't know. In the beginning, the professor said you can use this as an opportunity to write more, to make your writing more succinct, the professor said, right? Succinct is a synonym of the word concise. So making her writing more succinct means making her writing more concise. So writing like the same ideas, but in fewer words, right? Be a little bit more direct, perhaps. So I guess it's 1 and 3 in this case. It's a detailed question. There's not much that you guys can do, but practice taking notes and paying attention at the same time. Now, the third question. It says, the Harvard Graduate Business Program provides young people with. So another detailed question. What does this program provide young people with? What would you guys say? No comments, no idea. You remember that you have to choose one, right? Even if you don't know, you gotta guess. Take the one that you feel it would be more logical, make more sense. So which one would you guys?
I think it's the first one.
Okay. Yes, do you guys agree?
I will say the third one.
All right. So, I mean, the first one is kind of correct because the program does offer a funded master's course. But the thing is, remember that when you choose an option, it has to be, everything has to be correct. Everything has to be true, right? So it's a funded master's course, but it's not of their choice, right? They don't get to choose like which master's course they do. I think that was something that the professor said. He was like, because she said, oh yeah, that'd be great because I wanted to do something related to management. And the professor was like, well, actually, you have to do the program that they want you to do, right? They are going to choose for you. So it's not a course of their choice, right? It's something chosen by the company. Now, as for option C, work in various departments in the company, not true because you can only work in one department of the company. Because the professor says, depending on the department that you're working on, right? So it's just one department that you're working on. And it's not overseas because it's a local company, right? She actually said that she wanted to go abroad, but she can do this as well. So it's not overseas. It's actually a total of 2 years employment. Within these 2 years, they are going to fund her the course, right? It's like first they employ her for 1 year. She's going to do the master's course during that year. And then after the year is over, then she has to work for another year for the company, and then she can choose what she wants to do. So it was a total of 2 years at the Harvey Group. So it's a detailed question, not much we can do. Now, question 4 says, listen to Carla. I'm going to be Carla for these ones. Carla says, Harvey's a prestigious company. I couldn't see myself moving on fast if I managed to get my foot in the door. What does Carla mean by that? I couldn't see myself moving on fast if I managed to get my foot in the door. What do you guys think she means? So,
C.
option C,
The
okay.
third one.
Yeah, do you guys agree? Is it the third one? Okay. So yeah, I do agree because she says, I couldn't see myself moving on fast if I managed to get my foot in the door, right? So she is open to the possibility. This is a conditional sentence. It's not after I've worked or once I've got a job, because if you say after or once, then you're affirming that you're gonna do something, right? But she doesn't know if she's gonna get the job or not. So it's definitely not A or D. Just by reading or just by listening to that if conditional, so that is if she gets the job, not after she gets the job or once she gets the job. She's not sure if she's gonna get it or not. And second, when she says, if I manage to get my foot in the door, obviously that's not a literal expression. She doesn't actually mean like stepping inside the door, but actually she means if I manage to get in the company, right? If I get accepted, if I get a job at Harvey's, then I couldn't see myself, so I don't think that I will move on fast. Move on means do something else, right? To move somewhere else, to change companies, to start working for another company. So she wouldn't want to leave the company for some time. If we compare with the other ones, like the other ones don't make sense, right? Like for example, option B, I wouldn't have to work there forever, has a negative attitude. But she has a positive attitude towards this job, right? She thinks that it's a prestigious company. She wants it. So it's not option B, right? So yes, option D is unrelated. Option A is unrelated as well. And finally, we have another detailed question. This one here says, which one of these does Carla not need to do? Sending a resume, complete an application form, give a presentation, or attend an interview. What would you guys say?
Sending a resume.
Yeah, okay, good. Detailed question, correct. Okay, guys. So that was this other one we did. I think you guys are struggling with some detailed questions like question 2. Make sure that you always write down what the advice, the suggestions are. And everything else was good, right? Another detailed question. So careful with the details, right? Maybe you need to improve your note-taking strategies. But it was good. Let's see if we can do another one. Okay. Okay, guys, we will listen now to the conversation. Please take notes.
Sorry to keep you waiting. What can I do for you?
Well, I need some help finding accommodation for the semester.
You've left it a bit late, haven't you? You'll be lucky to find anything.
Yeah, well, I had a room lined up with someone in town, but I rang her yesterday and it turns out she's given the room to someone else.
Didn't you pay a deposit?
No, I didn't think I needed to. We had a sort of informal agreement.
Very informal by the sound of it. Well, that'll teach you for next time, won't it? Well, we won't have a lot available. I have to say we definitely don't have any rooms available in the student dorms. I mean, there are always a few no-shows, but we won't know about that for another couple of weeks, and presumably you'll need a place to stay in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are here now. We're staying in a motel just out of town, but they'll be leaving in a couple of days.
Well, you could always stay there for a couple more weeks and then take up any free spaces in the dorms when we know about them.
That might be a problem. I mean, I don't have my own transport, so it'll be hard for me to get on and off campus.
Well, that's likely to be an issue whatever you do. You won't find anywhere on campus now.
I suppose I could sleep on a friend's floor for a couple of weeks.
Now, you know that's against college rules, don't you?
Yes, I guess.
Well, it seems to me you have two options. You can either find a motel or a guest house somewhere closer to the campus where you can stay a couple of weeks until we know about any students who don't show up this term. Mind you, they're going to be pretty full now, what with all the students arriving. And there are a lot of people on the waiting list, so we can't guarantee you a dorm. You may be better off looking for some private accommodation in town, you know, renting a room in a private house or sharing a flat with other students.
Yeah, that might be best. Do you have a list of places here?
Well, we got a folder over there of people in town with rooms available. You can look through it and jot down some numbers. Bear in mind, though, that we've had about 50 students a day for the past week coming in and taking a look at it. And we can't keep track of what's available and what's taken. You'll have to do some ringing around.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, you can always look on the student body website. There's an accommodation page there, too, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah, but again, this time of year, things are really getting snapped up all the time. It's hard to keep tabs on what's still out there.
Okay, well, thanks for your help. Can I put my name on that waiting list anyway, in case I don't find anywhere else?
Sure. Write your details on this form, and we'll get in touch if anything comes up.
Thanks.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Guys, so let's take a look at the questions now. First question says, why is the student looking for accommodation now? Detailed question.
The first one?
Yes.
Exactly, yes, because she already booked accommodation, but the person that was responsible, I think, gave the room to somebody else. So it's no longer available. Second says, listen to this part of the conversation. The student says, no, I didn't think I needed to. We had sort of an informal agreement. And the accommodation officer says, very informal by the sounds of it. Well, that'll teach you for next time, won't it? What does the man imply when he says, well, that'll teach you for next time, won't it? What does he imply when he says that?
The flirt.
Yes, is it the first?
No, the first.
Right? So yeah, I do agree, right? He thinks that the student was foolish because he knows that she should have had an agreement, right? A formal agreement. She should have paid a deposit and have an agreement and do things right. That way she would have avoided this whole problem. So she's not feeling sorry for the student or giving her advice or anything, but she thinks that she made a mistake. Now the third question, why doesn't the student want to remain where she's staying now? Another detailed question.
It is too far from the college campus.
Yes, she's living with her parents right now, but it's too far. She has problem with transport. Now, fourth question, what sort of accommodation may the man be able to offer her in a couple of weeks? What do you guys think?
Is the second one?
Okay, yes, a room in a motel. Are you sure? The accommodation officer can offer her a room in a motel.
The third one.
A shared student flat. A flat is an apartment, right? Do you guys think it makes sense? Motels, apartments, private houses? Probably not, right? Yes, because this is the accommodation officer from university. He only has power over student dormitories. Now, it is true that he suggests that she looks for motels or apartments or private houses, but he is not going to offer her that, right? She could look for them, but it's not like the university will offer her a room in a motel or a student flat or anything. So yes. Now question 5, what is the problem with the accommodation listed in the folder and on the website? What is it?
I think the last one. I'm not sure.
Okay, there's a way we missed.
I believe with the first one.
The first one, it goes out of date, okay. Basically, what he says is that she's gonna have to do some ringing around, right? Because there's a folder and there's a list of places that she could call, but there are a lot of students who go there and see the same list, right? So nobody knows if that accommodation that is listed there has already been taken by another student. So it goes out of date very quickly, right? Because there could come a student there and like book the accommodation or take the accommodation and they will not know, right? So that's why she needs to call. So yes, it goes out of date very quickly. We had a lot of detailed questions in this case, but I think you guys got them through. the only one, this one here, right? Always make sure that it also makes sense. Like if you know that this was between the student and the accommodation officer, you know that the other options don't make sense, right? So also think about the questions in that way. So that's it. What do you guys think now? What questions do you have about the conversations then, or about anything at all? Do you have questions, comments? Everything clear, really? Okay, guys. Then in that case, today we actually have to fill out 2 surveys. So please, I'm gonna send you now the first survey, don't go yet. And after we're done with that one, I'll send the other one out as well. So please stay for a minute as everybody is completing the survey. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Now I'm sending the other one as well. And that's the last one. You guys are done with that one? Go, and I will see you all tomorrow in class, same time as usual.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.